Good morning and happy Mother's Day. This morning, I find myself in a place of being grateful, grateful and thankful for being a mother. I was listening to my children the other day. They were saying how we were poor, and it baffled me because I've never been poor. When I was a small child, my mother told me one time. She said that poverty was an attitude, and poverty truly is a spirit. And so I never equated the lack of things with being poor. And I don't allow the financial index of the country to tell me who and what I am. As a man thinks in his heart, so is he. And then just, well, Mom, we were in a shelter before. And I said, yes, we were. And even in being in that shelter, I was grateful to God because we missed the timing that God had told us to move and so things, but we still had to leave from where we were. And so he opened that door because there were people in the same financial status that we were in who were on the streets. So I was grateful. And when we were in the shelter, my children were happy. They thought it was apartment life until somebody told them they was in the shelter. You know what I'm saying? So I find myself, just like I said, grateful. I was reflecting. I was up listening to worship music, preparing the atmosphere of my home. And I just had to start thanking God when I look back at those days when my children were small and when God called me off the workforce to raise them because he showed me that they were my ministry, that I was going to have to give an account for raising them. I didn't posture myself to be their friend. I was their mother. And I knew I was going to have to give an account to God for what was imparted into them. And God showed me how to do things. You know, they have all these little FYI tapes on how to make contact paper look like $1 million. No, God, I did all that when I was younger. You know, raising my children, how to take what I had and to really work with it. And so I just thank God for that opportunity. And I obeyed God. When he said, come off the workforce and raise these children, I did. And the children's dad, when the income was rather limited at a point when we came out of the military. But I was thanking God that things were as well as they were. And my children, I had 5 children, and they were always collecting children. And that was fine because from that great ministry and learning how to cast out devils, lay hands on the sick, all those things I learned while I was raising my children and taking care of my home. And so I just want to encourage somebody today that maybe you were on the workforce providing things for your children. Praise God for that. Maybe you were like me where God called you off the workforce because your children needed a more hands-on approach in raising them. My mother told me, she said, I'm not throwing y'all up, I'm raising you up. And now when I look at them stand up and preach and teach and worship dance and raise their children and writing books and doing the different things God has blessed and anointed them to do, being blessings everywhere they go, I cry sometimes. I'm so grateful to God that I had the opportunity to be in place to do what he called me to do. And now I'm sure I showed up for them then. And now I'm showing up in my life, in where for me now, to move on to another arena of ministry where now I can teach other women, I can teach other children, and be a blessing on a broader spectrum of ministry, but no more important than raising my children, because through that one child that you take the time to raise up, that one child may reach 1 million. So I don't consider a ministry of, oh, I minister to thousands or millions any more important than taking the time to pour into those 5 that I did. So I just want to say happy Mother's Day, mothers. Have a blessed day and be grateful. Let yourself off the hook. We've all missed it, fallen short in different places. Forgive and release yourself and press on and keep on showing up in the presence of God and getting your daily bread. Happy Mother's Day.